Hi, everyone. Today I have Brittany Ramos, Senior Director, Partnership Management with the Los Angeles Rams. Thank you so much, Brittany, for taking the time to answer a few questions and really give your insight to college students. So first, would you please provide a summary of your current role and primary responsibilities?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for having me. Really excited to have the conversation today. And my current role is the Senior Director of Partnership Management. So myself and my team, we manage all of our corporate sponsors here at the Los Angeles Rams. And that ranges from our founding level partners that have stadium entitlements at the stadium to more of our team deals to we have media and entertainment deals now within our partnership landscape. And really exciting, we're going into we are in the international space currently, having the opportunity to bring our partners into Mexico, New Zealand, Australia, and China. So my group has a lot of responsibility of managing this incredible book of business that we've been so lucky to have, especially coming off the Super Bowl win, which is great. But my role and my team's role really is to work both internally and externally to bring our partnerships to life. And that's through, as I mentioned, internally, really working cross-functional with our social media team, our community team, ticketing, etc., to bring together or bring to life different aspects of our partnership relationships. So working with community to work on programming for specific partners where we go out and do different initiatives, working with social media and marketing on unique content opportunities and opportunities to tell stories and narratives alongside our partners and our brand, and bring together some really great content pieces, working together with ticketing on hospitality. So we're really cross-functional in bringing all of our partnerships to life. My biggest role really is to make sure that the team, one, is providing world-class premium execution to all of our partnership activations and what we're doing, but also keeping the pace of our business. Our business is very year-round. There's a misconception in football that we only work 10 games a year, and that's very not true. We're really year-round, right? So right now we're preparing for draft and a lot of our programs that are going to include our partners in that, while also preparing for training camp, while also activating Women's History Month and a lot of the partnership activations we're doing during Women's History Month. And then we'll be preparing for season or preseason and then season. And then we go into season, we do it all over again. So there's a constant tempo to the business that it's really important for my role to maintain with my team and keep balance, so we don't feel like it's such a stop and go, but we feel like there's a really nice cadence and pace to how we're approaching our partners with new opportunities, but also how we are executing year round as well. And with my role and my team as well, our three pillars really are to execute at a world-class level, to retain. It's really important that everything that we do is at that level to make sure that our business stays in our business portfolio, and keep that revenue and maintain those relationships, and then grow. So growing our business, and we have a sales team who will bring in new business, but it's really important for my team and myself to have these relationships with these clients, to do great work so that we're able to actually grow our business through our current partner portfolio and not always rely on having to bring in new deals, which can affect the business if we're not maintaining that balance of new and current together.
Wow. That's really awesome, to learn about, because, for sports, everyone just thinks it's only focusing on the team and not, the business aspect of it, and how you're able to build those relationships. I like how you talked about storytelling and, really doing those new things. It's always learning every year. So what key lessons have you learned from working in sports?
A lot of different things, right? With working in sports, one, it's a lot of hard work. As you mentioned, a lot of people don't know what we do behind the scenes. They see what's on the field or the court or the ice or whatever sport that you're playing, or is being played. there's a lot of hard work that's done behind the scenes, and being able to really be adaptable is super, super important. Never any day or every day is not the same. There's always, there's always something, there's always a new program to launch, there's always something going on. So being adaptable is really, really important. This is not a traditional, like, come in 9 to 5 and you're in and you're out. We have very complex hours, and we all love and we're very passionate about what we do, but being able to be adaptable was one of the first things I learned, right? Not coming in every day just thinking it's, and being in the box, like really having to think outside the box, really having to be adaptable, whether it's on game day when you're executing something and something goes wrong and you need to like think in the moment and problem solve. So not only in a game day aspect, but even in a planning aspect, and even just with what happens when a player gets traded that you just had a partner program in, and you're like, well, we can't release this content now because we just had to put, you have to be adaptable and be able to be a true critical thinker, problem solver, and do it with grace. I think also working in sports has taught me a lot about, just also like worldly lessons, right? Building great relationships, treating others as you like to be treated. This industry is extremely small. And if you're not building good relationships internally and externally, it's really, really going to slow you down, or may not provide you the most opportunities in your future, due to the fact that it is almost like this small family of industry leaders that know each other. So it's really important to always have a positive attitude, to always come into everything 100%. And to, again, treat others as you want to be treated. We work very closely together. Like I said, we have a lot of hours that we work together. So if you're not creating an environment that's positive and healthy to work in, you're not doing a good job, and it's not gonna really be a great situation. So really, a lot of lessons of treating others as you want to be treated, and making sure that you're really, really continuing to build bridges versus burn them is super important. And then, again, just I think with sports, there's just so many opportunities also to be creative, to really, be innovative, and it's a really great canvas for a lot of that. We're really lucky in my role, and I think in most organizations, to do some really great work. And so it's taught me a lot about how to really challenge myself, and how to like really try to take things to the next level, and not just be in the status quo and in the moment. So working in sports is really challenged me as an individual, challenged me to be confident, challenged me to also, again, be innovative and creative, and push me in different ways that I may have never thought I could be.
That's a lot of great like insight, especially like I like the keyword like adaptability, because I feel like everyone, like when you first go into sports, they don't realize how many different directions you're going to be pulled in, and how to like manage the stress level, but also have fun with it and work together with your coworkers. So a lot of great insight there. What are like a couple of highlights from your sports career?
Oh, wow. So I've been really lucky to be in sports for a very long time. I've been in sports since my freshman year of college, with different internships that I was a part of, to going into entry level, to now being on the executive level. So a lot of moments to choose from. I think for me, I've had some marquee moments that I'm really proud of, that start from my internship days of when I was an intern at the SAP Open in San Jose, which is a professional tennis tournament. That was my first real kind of getting my feet wet in sports. I took a program, and I'd never been in sports before, so it was very new to me, but I was able to, I was a sales and marketing intern, and took a program that never that existed but wasn't successful, and turned it into a big success. And, you know, it went from, it was the alumni night, and it had only really in the past not really sold well, or not a lot of tickets. And so my boss at the time was like, if you sell 50, that's great. And so I was able to really put together some strong programming and sell hundreds of tickets, which was like my first kind of, for me to notice that, like, hey, maybe I do like this, and maybe I am, you know, going to be successful in this in some capacity. So, you know, it was a real learning moment of, hey, I could do this. And I really am like proud of, you know, I think as I look at my career, is how do I go into something and make it better? How do I go into something, whether it's go into, you know, my goal is always to go into an organization and make it better and to bring value. And that can be from a day-to-day perspective, that can be in projects that I'm working on. So for me, it's, you know, really something that I pride myself on is when I take on a project or a program, or, you know, anything that I'm hopefully taking it to the next level, improving it, making it better, and bringing value. So that was really like my first opportunity to say, like, hey, like I went in here and I made impact and I brought value, and I was able to really, you know, bring benefit and a lot of good things to the organization. When I got into my next chapter of my journey, going to New York and working at Madison Square Garden, I started on more of the hospitality sales side. And so for me, in my first year, I hit $1 million of sales as a new inside sales rep, which is a grind. But it taught me a lot. And, you know, for me, I set a high expectation of the number that I wanted to hit. And, you know, I was the top seller there. And so again, not necessarily looking at it from an angle of, oh, look at what I did, but more of like, I was able to continually learn and grow in that role to achieve what I wanted to accomplish. And again, that aspect of bringing value and bringing benefit to the organization through my efforts and through my role. So that was a really marquee moment for me to say, like, I can drive revenue. I have the opportunity to sell a complex book of business. In inside sales, you sell season tickets, suites, all these different things. So for me, I really gravitated toward the premium side and was able to drive a good amount of revenue. So it was really exciting for me to, again, just have a moment of clarity and confidence that this is something that I think I can do and be a part of. And then when I was at the Garden, I made really great relationships and was really interested on this side of partnerships. I'd never really learned about it in school, and never really understood it full-heartedly of what it was. So I really made great relationships with the partnerships group there, who allowed me to kind of learn a little bit more. They were great mentors to me. And so when I went into partnership sales, one of my biggest kind of moments was when I was in New Jersey at the Devils. That was my first role in partnership sales. And actually the leader, some of the mentors I had at the Garden brought me to the Devils. So that was again, don't burn those bridges, because you never know where they can take you. And so when I was there, I was able to do something I was really passionate about, which is work with the Latino community. And I was prospecting a company called Goya Foods, who some of you may know what that is, or have their beans in your cabinet, or some of their different spices that you put on your food. But was really excited about building a relationship with them. They had never been in the hockey space as it relates to partnerships. So I was able to do one of the biggest Latino partnership deals, Hispanic deals ever in the NHL, which was awesome to bring, the Latino community to hockey and vice versa, and create some unique programming around it. And for me, as somebody who's a female Latina, it was really a special moment for me to bring this to life personally, and to really, do something really impactful that brought value, not only to the business from a revenue side, but also to the community, and creating change in a really special and unique way. And then kind of going to my next phase of going to Miami. When you do a naming rights deal, it is a labor of love, but it is really, really special. So I was able to be a part of the group who did the Hard Rock Stadium naming rights deal. For me, that was an incredible moment of one, getting to see what that looks like and how that goes, but two, when that sign is finally on the building and it's up and it's shining and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember all the things to like help bring this to life. It's a really special moment. And then going into, again, in Miami, I moved away from partnership sales and I went into partnership strategy, and I actually created the partnership strategy team there. We called it business solutions. So having the opportunity to build out a department for the NFL, for an NFL team, was a really unique moment for me that challenged me in a lot of ways, but also allowed me to follow my passion, being more on the strategic side and creating something new. So again, bringing that value and impact. And so I was able to bring to create that team, and it got picked up as a best practice in the NFL. So you'll see more strategy teams, which is exciting. And then coming to the Rams, I got to also build their strategy team, which again, very proud of the work that we've done. And then at the Rams, I have to say that my biggest accomplishment and something I'm really proud of is the draft house. That was really, to me, one of those moments that I got to build this really innovative platform that now has changed the game and how teams draft. And we were able to create this amazing moment for the NFL, for the sports industry on, we don't have to be traditional, and we don't, just because we draft from a war room for the last 50 years, like we can do things differently now. So we were able to really create this big moment in time for our organization. It's a program that we do year over year now, and continue to challenge ourselves on how we innovate it. But to me, that was a really awesome moment to be really proud of, because again, coming in and creating impact and creating value and being given the opportunity to do something really big on a really big stage that has really impacted our organization for the years to come, and the industry. So
Yeah.
a lot there, but my journey's been pretty long. So I thought I'd mention some of those moments.
Wow. I mean, you had like a great career so far. Like you're a prime example of like what hard work like will do for you in the industry, and like, networking and, making an impact on every team that you worked for. So it's really great to hear from you about that and that perspective, especially looking to go into the sports industry. Like that's so awesome to, learn from you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So what advice would you offer college students or recent graduates looking to get into the sports industry?
Yes, I get this question a lot, and it changes constantly. So I'm going to see which one I give today. But one, get experience, get in and get it early, right? And it doesn't always have to be on the pro level. There are so many different divisions of sports or levels of sports, right? There's college, there's minor leagues, there's agencies, there's so many different things that you can get into in sports. It doesn't have to always be the pro team, right? And that's not always available, unfortunately. So, but it's so important to get experience. I think everyone who goes to a great school, that's amazing. But to me, experience is so much more valuable. And because you're able to come in and, like I said, immediately create value, immediately create impact. Internships are always for learning. And so no one is expected to come in and know everything and do everything. But yeah, you have to, like, having that experience, it will totally change the direction of your career, because when you're able to go in and say, hey, I have done this program, or hey, I do, from my past experiences, have had this, it's so valuable. And again, it doesn't always have to be, there's such a misconception that it has to be on the pro level. I think that's great. And if that opportunity is there, take it. But there's so many other ways. And if it's not even a full internship, like volunteer, like get mentors that can help, like that you can help and volunteer and shadow, etc. So it's really, the earlier you get involved, the better. And the more that you stay involved and you like continue to get different internships and different types of experience will only benefit you in the long run. And once you're in those relationships, network, use your network, like whether it's your alumni, even outside of your internship, but like your alumni association, it's your internships, network, meet people, talk to people. You also get a chance in internships and even in networking to learn more about different roles. I went into sports and hospitality and selling tickets and selling suites and things like that. Once I was in there, I got to learn. And as I got to network, I got to learn more about the business. So I was able to really be like, wow, actually, that's really interesting. I'd love to learn more about that. And you don't get that until you do those things of network and get more involved with to see actually what's behind the curtains of the business. So really being able to optimize relationships is super important. And I say it ad nauseum, and there's only a few people that like really take advantage of that. And those are the people who end up being really successful, because you can be really smart, you can come from a great school, but if you don't have experience and you don't have good relationships and you're not networking and you're not, again, this is all about the grind. If you're not doing that, like this is not going to work for you. And I like hate to say that, but it's so true. And like I said, everybody in this industry, like it's so small that we are able to, when your name gets to get brought up and things like that, it's always a great thing. And then, in my career, really my bosses or someone I've worked with has taken me to my next place. I haven't really like formally submitted like a blind process for a job. And I'm very lucky for that. And I'm very blessed that that's been a part of my journey. But like, that's because the relationship, that's because of the work done, that's because of the grind, that's because of showing up and like putting all of my effort into what I do, that I've been lucky that people want to work with me and take me to different places to do these amazing things. And so, but that's where it starts, is like, get that experience, build those networks, be a hard worker and show up and do the work. And it's going to get you really far.
Yeah. A lot of great advice. Definitely got to work hard in this industry. So I appreciate you answering all those questions and, really giving like great insight. And then you had a lot of great career highlights that people will look up to you for, because I mean, that's really amazing how you've been able to just, progress and you're still going. And, like, that's how, like, we all have to aspire to be. So I just really appreciate you taking the time today.
Of course. No, this is a pleasure. And I'm more than happy to, if anyone wants to reach out on LinkedIn or whatnot, to continue to have conversations and hopefully help anyone who wants to be a part of this crazy but fun journey that I've been lucky to be on for the last, oh my gosh, I won't even say how many years, because